Win or lose, hit the booze.
You're listening to Bears Beyond the Gate, a Bristol Bears podcast made by fans for fans. We're three friends who love the club, the game and all things Bears. Well, boys, short pod, short intro. We've decided to do a very, very quick, rapido mini pod. We're on Tuesday night. We've got the Premiership restart for one game on Saturday, but it does actually signal the start of a 9-week block of what we might consider to be proper games of rugby rather than kind of Prem Cup games and the odd exhibition match. So I thought we'd convene. So we have set ourselves a deadline of 30 minutes. I don't think we've ever done a pod episode in under 30 minutes. So we're under pressure. But
that's right. Pudding's been prepared, so let's keep it snappy.
Yeah. And we're on Zoom for our regular listeners. We're not down the Bristol Beer Factory tap room. We're on Zoom. We've had a bit of a laugh trying to work out how to use it. Lee was like, came on, then he disappeared, then he came back again, and he was like sideways on his video. It's how quickly we forget lockdown stuff. Anyway, right, boys. So as I said, we have had a bit of a hiatus for the autumn internationals. There has been a bit of rugby, as I'm sure many listeners will know. We had 2 Prem Cup games, and we had the Argentina game at Ashton Gate. But the last Prem game we had was the loss at Bath. And of course, the Prem restarts again this Saturday, 5:30, Ashton Gate against Northampton Saints. And I think it's fair to say that these games have always been quite good for us. We tend to seem to do well against Northampton Saints after an international period. And also, I would say that despite our kind of worries over the last couple of months about injuries and so forth, I would say now we are starting to see a few people back. And I actually went on a scouting mission down to Exeter Chiefs on Saturday to check out Jimmy Williams and Max Leaf. I may report on that in a minute. But I think what I thought we'd do is do a kind of something we don't do that often, and we should do more of it, is I'll read out a list of names of people that I think are in contention for selection on Saturday. And you boys are going to pick, well, a starting 15 to start with. And then we'll add the bench on afterwards. So you ready, boys? Yeah. This is your challenge. So I'm going to read out the names and then we're going to see what we think. So I think, and this is based on Tuesday night, about 7:30 on Tuesday night, I think the following players are potentially in contention for selection on Saturday. So start with the kind of front row, or start with the props. Start with the piano shifters. Now, I'm going to say Max Leaf. I saw Max Leaf do 40 minutes at Chiefs. He made a 5-meter carry as well at one point, and that to me said that boy's fit for this. So I think Leaf's going to be up for selection. Kloska, George Kloska, I'm not sure about. We're going to assume he is fit, although there is a little bit of speculation on that. Chawatama, he came on against Chiefs, so he's fit. Woolmore, I'm assuming, is fit. Graham Slaw I'm assuming is fit. Now, of course, there's also Genji to throw into the mix, but we may have to discuss whether we think Genji will play. When we come to hookers, I'm pretty sure Ogre is fit again, but he didn't play on Saturday, but Harry Thacker played Saturday, so he's definitely fit. So hookers, definitely Thacker, maybe Ogre. Then engine room, Joe Batley, I'm assuming is fit and raring to go and get away from his house because he's got a new kid, so he needs something to do. Fitz Harding, obviously, the legendary captain Fitz Harding. You know his name. Oh, Miles, you're good at this. The Georgian. Luca. Ivanishvili. He should be available. Bill Matter, I think, should be available because Fiji didn't play this weekend. And sorry, this was I've gone into the back row, so start again. So I'm going Batley. Now, Rubiolo, I think, is available, even though he played Sunday, because he's only played 2 games. He didn't play against Wales. Joe Owen should be available, and obviously the newly capped England A, Joe Owen. Steele Barker, he's now fit. He's played all of those Prem games in the Argentina game, and he played on Saturday. He's looking all right. Then Steve Luatua, Fitz Harding, Santi Grondona, I'm not sure about because I think he has played 3 times for Argentina, so he may be rested this weekend. And then Bill Matter. And going into the halfbacks, Kieran Marmion, I assume, and then Sam Wolstenholme has played 3 games over this little hiatus period. Played on Saturday, so he looks fit. And then we're looking at number 10. I mean, Worsley played on Saturday and looked really good. So I'd say Worsley's definitely in the running for the 23, but I would have potentially Tom Jordan will be back. We haven't seen much of him, but he looked like he came through the Tonga game for Scotland unscathed on Saturday. And then big news, Jimmy Williams definitely looked back fit on Saturday. He only did 40 minutes, but I think it was a planned substitution at half-time, and he looked back to full fitness. The newly re-signed Bernard Yancey van Rensburg, and we may just come back to that in a minute. He's definitely fit. Ravovo, we're going to assume is available. Question mark on Moroni. Obviously, Moroni went another 80 Sunday against England and looked like he was a young lad. Whether he's even got a contract at Bristol is questionable, but he might be back. Then we've got Jack Bates, who played on Saturday, looked fit. Noah Heward played on Saturday against Chiefs, looks fit. Then I'm assuming Lewis Rees-Zammit will be back from Wales, because there is a Wales game this weekend, but it's out of window. None of the English players are playing. And then Benjamin Elizalde, I reckon, is up for selection, because although he's been with Argentina, he hasn't actually been any of their 23s.
No.
That's it from first team. So
that's pretty good going, I'd say.
I mean, it looks like we're getting a few people back. So I don't know, boys, what do you think? If we had to go for a front row, and should we make an assumption that Genji might be rested for this weekend because he's played 3?
I think so.
Yeah, we've got. I mean, we've got 9 proper games coming. We've got this one weird Prem game. Then we've got 2 European home games.
Yeah,
I think we've got to make a big effort to win, because if we can go 2 from 2 in Europe, we've got a chance when we come back after Christmas. And then we've got those 3-4 Prem games around Christmas. So. It has to be a bit of management. And I think I did the Post article yesterday, and I said that Pat's selection algorithm is going to be working overtime in the next few weeks, because it is a bit of a nightmare to try and sort of patch it all together. So who wants to go with the front row? Miles, you look like a likely sort of lad that likes to go the distance with the front row. So what do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to. Well, I'd like to see Max Laheath start. Even if potentially 40, 50, 60 minutes we might get out of him. He'll be busting to go, won't he? He's had a period of rehab and injury, so I definitely start Big Max. Hooker, you're right. We're not entirely sure. I feel O'Gray sort of is up the pecking order over Thacker, so I think he'll be keen to get some match time again. I think Laheath as well. Who's fit? I
think if you're going to say Laheath as tight head, so who's going to be our loose head prop? Got Woolmore, Graham Slaw. That's Kloska. Kloska's tight head though, isn't he? As well,
I know. Yeah, absolutely. I think start with Woolley, to be honest with you. Yeah,
Woolley will be champing at the bit. He's probably had about 25 saunas over the last 3
years. Absolutely, yeah. And he broke his nose, didn't he? So he's probably desperate for another punch up or something like that. So So
we're gonna. Should we stick with
Woolley?
Max at tight head, O'Gray. Woolley at 1, we should say, at loose head. O'Gray, Hooker, assuming he is fit. Max at 3. You happy with that, Lee? Sound good to you?
I got a funny feeling that Fax might start at Hooker. I just feel that I wouldn't want to. I think Pat's thinking is going to be, we're going to go into these block of games now, and the one thing we don't need is any more injuries.
Yeah,
and I just got a feeling. I mean, Fax it's in safe hands, isn't it? And I just feel that Pat might just err on the side of caution.
Yeah,
and play Fax instead of Gabs.
Yeah, maybe Gabs on the bench. And I think if Gabs is not fit, then the only other option we got is Thomas Gwilliam, who has played for the Prem. And actually, I've seen him play twice. I like the cut of his jib. He's a jib cutter, Gwilliam. So I bet he'll be on the bench if O'Gray's not available. Right? Okay, that's good. Well, Lee, let's come to you then. Let's get for the big boys, the engine room. 2 locks, starting locks. What are your thoughts?
I think it's got to be Joe Batley. He picks himself, and I think, like you said, I'm going to get slaughtered for mispronouncing this name now, aren't I? But I think old Pedro Rebelio, I think is going to be. Did I say it right or not?
No,
Rubiolo.
Rubiolo. Oh, for God's sake!
This guy, he's
Pedro.
He played 80 against England. He was scrapping with Henry Pollock. Actually, he wasn't scrapping. We'll come on to that. But he just looks like. He looks to me like he's one of those locks that he conserves his energy very well during a game, but when he's needed, he is there. And I agree with you. I think if he's on a roll, I think Pedro will be playing. So I'm with you on that. If he doesn't play, then we've got Joe Owen as well. So I think it's going to be 2 out of Owen, Batley, Rubiolo, and then the other one on the bench. And that's not bad looking. Okay, Miles, back row.
I think it sort of selects itself. I mean, we've got to go big against Northampton. We really need a home win. Liverpool, Captain Fitz, and Big Bill, I think.
I think so. I think the only debate might be Liverpool. They might put Owen at 6. You never know if Pedro plays. Mobile 6.
Yeah.
No, if you got Batley, Rubiolo, and Owen, you've got 3 jumpers in the line out there, and you've then got a mobile 6 as well. So that could be our little. And I mean, obviously, Joe Owen, he played for England A. He's going to be desperate to play somewhere, isn't he? Is Pekka?
He is.
Is it up, Miles, or is it down? Is Pekka?
I think it's up. It's thoroughbred, isn't he? He's got some pace about him too. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Stevie would be someone that would keep on the bench to kind of steady the ship if things don't quite go the way we hope, as he has done a lot in the past. Yeah. Okay, I'll do halfbacks. Obviously, Marmion is going to start. Wolstenholme will have to be on the bench. You've got to have a 9, I think, on the bench.
Yeah.
And I think this is the interesting one, is do we put Jordan in at 10 or do we save Jordan for 15 and do we put Worsley in at 10? Now I'm going to, because, let's just push the boat out. I think Worsley has done enough now. I think he is a notch up from what he was last year. I've seen him play. I saw him play on Saturday at Chiefs. And the thing about the game at Chiefs on Saturday was there was a lot of academy players on both sides, and there were a few Prem players, and there were a few players that were Prem ready players. And I'm talking Batesy, Williams, Laheath. They all look like proper Prem players, not even second string Prem players. And I thought Worsley was in that category. I thought he looked like he was confident. He has a bit of a swagger about him. He did a lovely cross kick to Aidan Boshoff to score. So I'm going to put my neck out and I'm going to say we're going to start with Worsley at 10. Okay. So think about that.
Okay with that.
Yeah, I like that.
Marmion Worsley axis. Right. Miles, back to you. Centres, 12, 13.
Oh, God, too many to choose from now, haven't we?
We have. It's almost a glutton of riches. I feel sick thinking about the number of centres.
Well, absolutely. I mean, okay. I think Bernard is a given, isn't he?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you're right. Is Moroni in contract? Do we even need him at the moment? Bernard and I think Calavetti probably the centres.
Yeah, I mean Calavetti played centre he played 13 for Fiji, scored a great try against France, looked really good against England. What do you think, Lee?
I'm going to disagree slightly.
Good.
Only because I think that if Big Jimmy Williams is fit, Yancey and Big Jimmy in the centre for me, and I personally would play Calavetti on the wing.
Yeah. I think the only caveat to that is Williams. Is he starting fit or is he coming on fit?
Mm-hmm.
Could he come on? Is it I don't know. They've got he'll only he knows and Pat knows that and the medical people. Yeah. Would you risk someone to start a big game when there's a lot of energy going around because it's a Prem restart game? And I don't know. It could be either way, couldn't it? I think you're right. I like the idea of either of them.
Yeah, I agree with you because that combination when they were fit was unstoppable last season. Well, Jimmy and Yancey in in the centre. So once he's fully fit and got 80 minutes in him, that is an amazing centre partnership. And while we don't know what's going on with Ibitoye, you're right. Then
Ibitoye is not going to be till New Year at least. I mean,
the thing for me is if Williams is fit, it's the muscle memory that him and Yancey have, like Miles had just said.
Yeah.
They do things without thinking about it. And I think it's that kind of fluidity that if Williams is fit, I think he would add something for the Saints game. Yeah. But obviously it is a gamble, and we don't know how fit he is at the moment, do we?
I mean, the thing we got with Revovo and Tom Jordan is we got a bit of flexibility around the backs. They could swap around a bit. So, Jordan could start 15 and go 10 if necessary, and Revovo could start 13 and go wing, or could start wing and go 13. So I think somewhere, I think it's a difficult one. I think we'll leave that one hanging. It could be Revovo. Revovo's going to start somewhere. I think that's the important thing. He's either going to be 13 or wing. If he doesn't start at 13, he'll start on the wing and so forth. So I think Jordan, we assume if we'll start in the game, we'll start somewhere as well. And we're gambling on 15. So let's just for the moment assume he's 15. So we're looking at one other winger, possibly, or two other wingers, depending on whether Revovo starts 13. So any thoughts, Lee? Any other wingers?
Yeah. Again, it's all down to fitness. We're kind of speculating again, but I quite like Noah Heward.
Yeah.
I like the fact that defensively he's on the ball, and I think he's just one of those kind of solid, reliable players that we lean on a little bit and we trust. Mm-hmm. So
and also
personally,
he's played those games over the little break, and he played again. He played fullback on. Did he play fullback? No, he didn't. He played on the wing against Chiefs because I think Prothero played fullback. So Heward has had a proper decent hit out, and I think he's now ready for a Prem. He'll definitely be in the 23, whether he's on the bench.
Yeah.
And I suppose the other person to speculate on, Miles, is Jack Bates. Is there anywhere in for him? Because he's also been a constant, and he has looked class against the boys. So I feel like Batesy. I mean, Mike will be gutted if he's not playing on.
You're right. He's been a stalwart over the last sort of 2-3 games, but. From a fan's perspective, a club perspective, if fit and if he's available, we've got to get our money out of Reece Zammit, unfortunately, haven't we?
Of course, Miles.
Big names, brings in the crowd. Yeah. So, unfortunately, he might just make it on the bench.
And I think unless Reece Zammit is injured, I think you're right. He's got to play, hasn't he? He's got to play.
I think so. Yeah, I think he's. He played for Wales at the weekend.
This could be that. The way that. If Jordan plays 10 because Worsley doesn't play 10, then that does open up a space in the fullback. It could be that Heward goes fullback, Reece Zammit goes one wing, and then Revovo the other wing. But then that depends on Williams.
But how nice is this that we're actually getting options to choose from now, which is lovely, isn't it?
It is nice.
Getting players back fit again.
Exactly. And it's fun, isn't it? It's fun when we got options. So, I think probably... I can't losing track of what we said, but I would have thought it's hard to do about. I would have thought we'll go 5-3 split. It's not like Saints are, they're not like playing South Africa, is it?
Yeah, more internationals needing a rest than we have, haven't we?
So I think we were sort of saying Owen, maybe, possibly Grondona if he's around. Because I wonder whether Grondona, they're going to wait and see if Pollock gets selected for Northampton. And if Pollock gets selected, Grondona is going to be knocking on Pat's door and saying, I am playing. And if those people don't know what I'm talking about, me and Miles do, because we watched it. Or actually, did you see it, Miles? Because we'd gone by then, hadn't we?
No, I didn't see it.
So basically what happened was that after the game, when we were watched it live, because even though we're not down the Bristol Beer Factory tap room, I will give them a plug because we went down there on Sunday to watch the England game, and there was a scuffle on the pitch after the game, and the camera was like well in there, and it was Pollock and Santi Grondona was having words with Pollock. And anyway, do you know what I thought I'd do, boys? I thought let's use our connections in the camp. So obviously Monday morning I get on Instagram, and who do you think I messaged? Straight into Dunny. And I said, hey mate, Pete here. Hope your rehab's going well. You've always got to like pretend that you're not interested in just one thing. Then I said, anyway, would love to know what Santi was saying to Pollock post-match yesterday. It looked tasty. Will it even better if they both play on Saturday? And then Dunny did get back to me, not straight away, but he did get back to me. And he said, hey mate, only saw him briefly today, but think he was more annoyed at Curry. Then classic Pollock just jumped in the middle. So it was quite a diplomatic answer.
I know the answer. I know exactly what he asked him. I think that he was pissed off because obviously Argentinian steak you always have rare, don't you?
Yeah.
Of course.
And I think he'd seen Pollock the night before and he'd had a medium. Yeah. And I think that was it, mate.
I think you're right, and he said he'd have some awful sauce on it, and that tipped him over the edge, didn't it?
He had the steak Diane sauce, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think actually, then now it's all come out that it was all to do with Tom Curry, wasn't it? And what happened was Curry took out their fullback with a late tackle, marginal late tackle, but it now has turned out he's done his anterior cruciate ligament, which is pretty bad. They were pretty annoyed that nothing happened. And then I read that Curry went in down the tunnel saw the Argentinian coaches, went over to say something. They said, get out, we're not interested in talking to you. And then he went F off and pushed Contampone, shoved him. And then Contampone's come out saying he's a bully. Like, how could the refs not even have looked at it? Because he thought it was done on outcome. Because when it's a high ball catch, when someone goes up for a catch and mistimes it and takes someone out in the air and they land on their head, they get sent off. He's saying why he's done the leg, he's done our knee. Why did he not get sent off? So there was a lot of to and fro, and obviously Pollock, as Dunny must know him, just diving in. What do you want to say, Lee?
I just wanted to say, I mean, I hate sticking up for cell players or anyone with cell connections, really, but. Curry's he's a hard player, but he's a fair player. And for me, there wasn't any malicious intent in any of that, and it was unfortunate. And I mean, these guys are tough, bloody people, and I just feel like he's getting beaten with a stick that I think is a bit undeserving. Personally.
Yeah, and I think I'm sure it'll come out in the wash a little bit. But I do think that it would be quite amusing if Pollock's playing on Saturday and Santi's playing as well. And maybe I don't think Rubiolo. I was watching it. Rubiolo looks like he's the sort of guy that just bides his time in case it really kicks off. Santi's an early Santi goes in early, like reconnaissance marine, and then Rubiolo is like in the background, the heavy artillery, if required.
Yeah, but just think, if Santi's playing and Pollock's playing, how much are we going to save? Bristol Bears are going to save on fireworks.
Exactly. Right, boys, I've realised I've just got a note saying we've got less than 10 minutes left on Zoom. Okay. So there's one other thing. I think we've done well there. I think we've picked a team. We'll see what happens. And of course, now we've got something to look forward to on whatever Friday when the team's announced. But I've just seen hot off the press, on the Bristol Forum, somebody has posted who the ref is for Saturday. So who do you think?
That's not going to be good, is it?
Who do you think is our ref?
I can see your face, and I know full well who you're talking about now.
Go on, then.
Bios, do you reckon?
Because if you're smiling, I think Bristol fans realise it can only be one nut job from our previous game. It can't, surely.
Yeah, go for it. You say the word.
Not Tempo.
It is Tempo.
Oh, no.
I mean, there is a bit of a... Lee, you introduced quite a serious point in that pod after Bath when you said that actually they should kind of pick refs linking to certain games. And, Tempo had quite a difficult game to ref. It was a lot of argy-bargy, but he did kind of get a little bit like he was like a kind of young teacher who's lost control of the class, and his only management strategy is just to get more angry and just whistle louder and then sort of strut over. Anyway, So Tempo is back. I mean, I don't know how it'd be quite interesting to find out how they do allocate. You know, is it just randomly done? Is it like a big lottery at Ref HQ? They just have all the games in a thing, and somebody comes in and picks it out and goes, Tempo, you've got Bristol again. Tempo's like, oh, really? So anyway, it's Tempo. But interestingly, one of his assistant refs, there's two actually, I've never heard of them, and I'm sure there are people out there who have, so apologies for not being a nose on officials in rugby, but one of the linos is Hamish Grant, not Hamish Schmales. Hamish Grant. And then another one is Mike Hudson. So I'm thinking Hamish Grant seems like he's an extra out of Monica the Glen.
Wait, what?
Mike Hudson.
Sorry, wait a minute.
Mike Hudson.
Sorry, I know we're on Zoom, but I thought you said something else, Pete. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, right. No, I didn't. But if Hamish Grant is an extra from, well, Tempo is something like he's a young version of Compo from Last of the Summer Wine.
Yeah.
You've got Hamish Grant is an extra in Monica the Glen. Mike Hudson, what does he sound like he'd do?
He sounds like a boxer from the sort of like noughties era or something.
Or to me, he seems like a 1970s BA pilot. He does the long ball. Mike, this is your captain, Mike Hudson. I've been doing this for years. I've had about 5 affairs with stewardesses, and I am just absolutely loving life. Mike Hudson. I'm looking forward now to see what Mike Hudson looks like.
Maybe,
yeah. I reckon he's a young lad coming through. So anyway, that's something to look forward to. Tempo. I'm not sure who the TMO is actually. Not sure. I got time to find out. Anyway,
don't worry, we'll be
one other thing, boys.
Let's get on to the good news this week.
Go for the good news. Tell us the good news then, Lee.
Bernard the Mullet Jancy van Rensburg has signed a new extension to his contract.
Of course, we don't know how long this is, but
no,
it is an extension.
It's probably 1 in 1, isn't it? I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that was fantastic news because we all agree, like we love the guy down in BS3, don't we? So
absolutely
it's great to have the mullet around for a bit longer.
Well, I don't know if you saw the kind of social media-ing last night. It was a kind of young lad who actually going into a fancy barber's in Clifton and then sort of says, I'll have what he wants or something like that. And then you kind of see this barber cutting out a mullet and then it's just classic. It pans away and there's his little smile and he goes, who's next? Or something like that. And I loved it. But it got me thinking that obviously he is a proper first name on the sheet player. So in this social media, they obviously went up Clifton, found some fancy barber at Clifton. But I was just thinking, boys, what if one of the academy boys re-signed? What sort of haircutting establishment might they use for that? You got any ideas, Lee?
Yeah, I full well. I mean, this is obviously for your up-and-comers, isn't it? Yeah. It's got to be Dan's barbershop on Coronation Road, isn't it?
Famed for cutting my hair, Lee's hair, and in the past, TC's hair as well.
That's right. And also, it'd have to be academy lads because obviously Dan's pretty reasonable with his prices, isn't he?
And I mean, it's cash only at Dan, and that's all the academy boys get paid in as well, I imagine. So
pocket money.
But there is a lot of listeners out there are saying, "Hang on, you said Lee, you said Pete, you said TC. What about Miles? Where do you go for your hair, Miles? What's
North Street? North Street.
North Street.
Yeah.
So south.
Which one? There's about 15.
Yeah, I know.
There's 15 barbers on North Street.
Well, there you go. Number 40. Terry.
Well, look. Anyway, I'm looking at my Zoom. We've got 2 minutes 53 left on this recording.
Right.
We've done what we achieved. We've picked a team. We've had a bit of banter. What else? Anything else?
One quick shout out.
Go for
it. We want to keep reiterating this, don't we?
Yeah.
We want to see loads of Bear supporters in Llanelli.
Yeah.
We can't get it out. Where are we staying, boys?
We're staying in the Travel Lodge.
No, no, I meant the pub. I'm
Well,
counting on
you know
drinking
what?
in the pub.
By Sunday's pod, we'll have remembered, and we'll plug it then.
We're going to do a pod on
All
Sunday
right.
after the Saints game, so we'll tidy up loose ends there. But we have found the name of a pub with the help of another listener, and we've decided that we'll do a clarion call. Anybody who fancies coming down, and I may have some spare bears beyond bears hankies as well to give away because I've still got a whole pile of them at home. So yeah, we'll deal with that on Sunday. Obviously, we'll have another pod Sunday. This is very much a mini pod. And Sunday, hopefully, we'll have had a good day down at Ashton Gate. We'll reconvene at the Bristol Beer Factory tap room Sunday, and we'll take it from there. And we can look forward to the European games and look forward to the Christmas break and so forth. So, boys, unless there's anything else you want to add, I feel like we've covered, my very brief 1 minute thinking before this Zoom, our agenda. But it's been nice to have a quick chat. It's kind of getting us back into thinking about rugby properly.
Yeah, exactly. I think we all need a decent game of rugby, a local game of rugby to go and watch. I mean, I think we're desperate, aren't we, after this ridiculously long break again?
Yeah, okay.
We're oiling the ring rustiness, fellas.
We have.
That's three.
We've got we've got the WD-40 out, and we're spraying it in the places where it's needed. On that note, I think everybody out there, it's only a few days before the game. Stay safe. Look out for team selection on Friday. And 1, 2, 3.
Up the Bears.